Love wins by the Stewarts. I'm your host, B-Level.
And I'm your girl, Netta.
And today we have, two of our really, really good friends with us. They are our first guests. You know, you guys made history. Y'all are our first guests. Welcome to the show, Wyatt Womack. And Leroy Womack.
That's right.
Now, the wife and I had this big conversation about how you pronounce your name. Is it Leroy or is it Leroy?
Well, it just depends.
How does it depend?
On if you tip your pinky up or not.
Right, exactly.
Because I was saying Leroy.
Well, I'm not offended either way.
Okay.
Yeah. So some of my family say Leroy, some say Leroy, and some say Leroy. So I'm not offended. It's my name, and I'm grateful that people call my name.
Right. So welcome to the show. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having us. We're honored.
Yes, so we started this podcast about 3 weeks ago, and this podcast specializes on relationships and families. We want to keep people together. We want to give people the information, the struggles of our ups and downs and our struggles of our marriage. And before we start, I want to pay a couple of deals. Big shout out to my guy Q Note, who's producing our podcast. Got us sounding all good, looking good. And also big shout out to Club Empire. We are broadcasting in the Empire Studio, so shout out to them as well. Okay. All right. So I guess we should start by saying you guys are legally married, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. So two guys that are legally married. So you guys are part of the LGBT community, right? All the alphabets,
Yes.
Elemental P.
Elemental P.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, we're a part of that community.
And you guys are legally married. When did you guys get married?
Actually, we got married 3 years ago, November the 15th. Well, actually, this coming up November the 15th will be 3 years. So
That's almost our wedding anniversary. November the 15th, our wedding anniversary is November the 23rd.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long have you guys been dating? And then you said you've been married for 3 years, but how long did you guys date before you guys decided to get married?
3 years.
Yes.
Wow.
To the date. So we met on November the 15th.
Right.
We got married on November the 15th.
Yeah.
Really?
So, yes.
Aww.
So on our 3rd year anniversary of being together, we got married. So
That's sweet.
in total, we have 6 years all under our belt. This November will make 6.
November will make 6 years.
And I remember when they had the big deal about, gays being able to be married.
Right.
Did you guys jump right on it? Did you guys wait for a while when they opened it up? I remember having people down. How long did you guys take to get married?
Actually, Leroy said that he didn't want to get married until Arkansas opened up.
Okay.
Because it opened up for other places.
Absolutely.
But then, under the Obama administration, he made it to where it was, nationwide. So it was, every state could do it. So he didn't want to get married until we could get married here.
Aww.
So they opened it up, and then, we kind of still waited a little while. But, we just wanted to wait until it was the perfect time, until it was right.
Yeah.
Until it felt right.
Yes.
Right.
And
originally, we were planning this huge wedding. It was going to be, I was going to do the bankhead bounce down the town and everything. We didn't get a chance to do all of that because we never could get the guest list down. I was really impressed about how our community embraced us. It's just been amazing. We attend church and people there love us, and just our community when we're out in public, people stop us and we were going through the airport and people would say, "Oh, can we come to your wedding?" I was like, "Well, what's your name again?" And
you guys should be the spokesperson for the LGBT community. Like Shanette and I were talking about, we wanted to have a guest on, and we wanted to be guys, that were gay, because we felt like there was a difference between having a gay couple who were females,
right,
and having a gay couple who was males.
Right.
And so when we decided to do males, I said, I already know who to call. I mean, I know, I already know who we're gonna get in. But we only have one rule, and our only rule on the show was that you got to keep it real.
That's
one
Yes.
thing, and nothing is off limits.
Okay.
The first episode, my wife and I, we put our business all out on the table.
Hey.
So we're going to get in your business. That's
That's
what we're going to do.
fine.
We're going to get in your business. So I'm going to
Let's
pitch it
get
over to my
into it.
lovely. Well, how you doing, baby? How was your day at work? Yeah, I have to
Y'all see
do
he
my
made me blush?
I have to do my romancing, y'all.
Yeah.
Do my romance.
That's right.
I love it.
Go ahead,
makes
baby.
me
I'm going
blush.
to
He makes
let
me
you go ahead first.
So I think I have a few questions, and we gave our listeners an opportunity to ask you guys questions as well. So I think the main question and the main people want to know is, what was it like coming out to your family and friends? Like that caused any problems and issues? What was that like? What was it like for you?
You go ahead and start, Dougie.
Dougie?
Wow. What was it like coming out?
Mm-hmm.
Freeing.
Really?
Yeah. You know, I grew up in a very religious upbringing, you know, and so I'm a PK. And,
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
I'm a PK, so you know when you are young and you love God and you love the Lord and you just want to serve Him, and then you have people telling you that this is wrong and that's
Yes.
wrong, and you know they try to beat you back into a shell
Yeah.
of some sort.
Yeah.
So when you look in the mirror and you see something that everybody else is trying to tell you that it's wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, when you finally come to the grips of, I like that. When you come to that grips of, I like that, and that's fine,
Yeah.
and we're good, nobody can take that from you.
Yeah.
And that's when you do come out, it's so freeing. It was freeing for me because I was just like, you know what? Fuck the world.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if mama don't like it, daddy don't like it, you know what? I'm going to go on and go and do my life because this is my life.
Right.
That's true.
And, you know, one thing that they taught us is that ain't nobody got a heaven or hell to put you in, and you
Right.
can't ride on
Absolutely.
nobody else's coattail.
Absolutely.
So if I'm going to do this, I have to do it my way. So they already taught you that you have to make your own path, right?
Right.
So if I'm going to make my own path, I have to make it organically, and I have to
Absolutely.
make it the way that I am. And so coming out was freeing for me. And
Good.
yeah, it was kind of, it was, you know, it wasn't bad. You know, I mean, I know some people who have had stories that are just awful. So
How old were you? How old were you
Yeah.
when you came
I
out?
was gonna ask that.
I was about 16.
Teenager still.
I was about 16, and you know, it finally came out. I have two stepsisters, and they kind of helped me,
Okay.
and it was really freeing. But once I did, it was kind of like after it, I was like, well, what was all the big deal about?
Right. You're
But there are
absolutely
other
right.
people that go through some major getting put out the house, becoming
Yeah.
homeless and everything. And I think that because of those stories and because of those fears of what we hear from other people, that's why it's so hard for us, because we think that is going to happen to
Right.
us.
Right.
So, you know, and then in the end, when they're like, oh, I'm going to love you regardless. Well, some people think that, you know, that their family is going to love them, and they tell them that, and then
Yeah.
they get put out anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, but yeah, it was freeing for me. You can go ahead, Leroy.
Yeah, it's liberating. I think my family, they actually told me, my cousin told me that my family was saying that they think that I may be gay. And I thought, oh my God. So, you know, the gig is up, you know,
Right.
it is what it is. Because I knew even as a child what the deal was. But, you know, I was 6 foot tall in the 4th grade. So,
Right.
you know, I was into basketball. I could dunk and I could outrun it.
So when you say you knew
I knew.
at a young age,
Yeah.
how young?
Young.
How young?
Young.
How young?
Probably
He's like, how
about
young?
4 or 5.
4. And you knew because
I liked the boys and the girls, and you know,
Okay.
I wasn't I knew that it was something that I wasn't supposed to say or do or act on.
Right, right.
So of course you suppress that, and then you hear the fag word and all here's this and that. You didn't want to be none of that.
Yeah.
So you shied away from it naturally, and then of course you hear men say, "Oh, don't be no punk and you ain't no sissy," So everything that you was taught was against that. So even though I knew it was something I wouldn't dare act on. So it wasn't until I got all that together in my head, because I tried to outrun it, jump it, everything. I was the one to be there. I was just a kid, a black kid growing up. You know how we are.
Yeah.
I was just like,
it's hard in black families.
I had that whole guy thing going, As kids, we would line across the street, and everybody would get in a line, and we'd break out and start running. Who could be the fastest? And it was my job to be the first one. Every time. In football and best talking stuff, we was going to go down the street and all of this when we played softball and all that. So, I had that, and I wasn't real feminine. So that helped me out a lot, too. And like I said, I was a big guy, so.
You were able to hide it alone.
I was able to hide it.
Yeah.
I was able to hide it until I was ready to deal with it for myself. And so when my cousin said that they had said something, I was like, okay, well, it's out now. So, and shortly after that, I had met my first boyfriend. I think I was 17 at that point.
Right.
And then, he came around the family and everything. So it was what it was.
So there wasn't a conversation. It was just.
Somewhat my mom, we spoke kind of about it, but, her whole thing was that she was raising me to be a good husband for somebody.
Oh.
So I got that, and I understood that she wanted what she wanted from me. But I wish I could have gave her that. But like I told her, if I give you that, then that means I'm gonna be unhappy. So is that what you want?
Right.
So and she was like, no, I want you to be happy. I said, well, this is what makes me happy. Right. And she accepted that. Now we're good.
Was that conversation different to your mom versus your dad?
Actually, it was easier with my dad.
Really?
My dad is Superman to me. Yeah, we have that type of relationship. He is.
Yeah.
He can do everything. He was at my house the other day. We was putting down my floor in my powder room downstairs because we had a leak around the toilet and the floor got wet and everything. We had to rip it all up. My dad was right there. Yeah. And I do remember telling him that I wanted to get married, and I asked him if he would come to my wedding. And he was like, what do you mean if I'm coming? He said, I don't care if nobody else come. I'll be there. So.
That's so sweet.
My dad was similar.
What about you, Doug?
Yeah, his dad.
Yeah, oh my God. My dad is like the best dude. Like, I mean, literally, my dad is like a New Yorker. Like, he is from New York. He's from St. Albans. Shout out to Daniel Turner. A great man. And he's just like Superman to me. Like my dad can do no wrong in my eyes. Like, my dad said, if you get married to a man, I'll be on the front row. He told me when I was younger, when I did come out, he was like, man, I knew when you were a kid. He was like, when you put the football down and picked up the Barbie, he was like, I had a decision to make. Yeah. He was like, am I going to love my kid? Or am I going to push him away? Right. He was like, and I decided that I was going to be there for my kid. This is my son. This is my firstborn. You know what I'm saying? So, and, he was just amazing.
So you're the oldest?
I am the oldest from my father.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I am the oldest from my father. Yeah.
Did he buy you an Easy Bake Oven?
He did not. He did not.
You want
he
one?
did not. He gave me a lot of lectures, and he taught me how to be a good man.
Yeah.
A good human being, an individual. He taught me education. Just to be a good human being. Like sexual orientation, I think just should not come into aspect when it comes
Absolutely
to
not.
Raising children.
Right.
I mean, I think when it comes to sexual orientation, they're gonna not choose. I'm not gonna say choose because that gets kind of like messed up in the end with certain people. Yeah. But in the end, they're going to be with who they're going to be with.
That's true.
At the end of the day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So as a parent, I believe that it's just your job to just, teach them in the way that they should go as far as being the best human being that you can be.
Right.
You know, and helping others. And, you know, instead of let's talking about your sexual orientation, let's teach our kids about their credit
Right.
and their
Let's talk about
finances
that.
and all of that.
How to
You
clean
know,
a
I mean,
house.
why are we trying to beat being gay out of them? You
Yeah.
know, I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, let's try to teach them wealth building.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but yeah, my dad, you're awesome, man.
So I had a conversation with with my team last week. We were talking about this, and I said in our community, in the African American community, that's the reason why there's so much there's just so much mental. Just mental illness, and because
Yes.
we're taught in our community to suppress things, and so you're just like, no, I don't want you to be this way, I don't want you to do this, and it's not just with your sexual orientation, just different things. We're taught to suppress and hold things in and not do those things.
Absolutely.
So then when we become, adults, that carries over into our adult lives. So now it's like, I can't deal with it. I'm having a hard time with it. So it was really refreshing to hear the both of you say it was like a breath of fresh air
Yes,
to release that
Yes.
and say that.
Yeah.
And to have the family and friends to accept that as well, because there's so many people that's walking around here that wants that, and they're just going through. Basically, they're their own enemy because they can't tell anybody.
Exactly.
And they have to kind of hide these things. So it was really, like I said, it's kind of refreshing to hear you guys saying it was like that's
Well,
what's up.
you have to also realize when you keep that in like that, you end up doing things in the dark.
Yeah.
And when you do in the dark, that's when you'll reach your low, because you'll crawl through the mud to get what you want instead of, coming on out and being who you are and doing it in a stand-up way. So, that's why I shied away from just hiding everything.
Yeah.
Are both you guys from Little Rock, from Arkansas?
No, I'm from Little Rock.
You from
Doug
Little
is
Rock, Dougie?
Oh, Lord, Jesus. All right, y'all. Because I don't know how this is going across the nation and probably international. So you know how some of y'all are.
Yes.
All right? So, because y'all know y'all can't say you from somewhere.
Right.
Yes.
So I was born in California, moved to New York. My family is from Indiana. I went back and forth to and from Indiana, so I get that city, country thing. I lived in Atlanta. I lived in Miami. I lived in Chicago. I lived in Dallas. I lived in
Oh, wow.
just all over the place. I
Yeah.
spent some time in London. I spent some time in Paris. So I don't know where I'm from anymore. And then some people say that if you live in a certain place for more than 5 years, then you can
Yeah,
say
your
that you're from
residency.
there. So now I can say, for in those people's eyes, I'm from Little Rock. But for all of y'all
Tell them.
that want to say you ain't from someplace, yeah, I've been here 5 years. Or
Yes,
6
so you-
years.
yes.
Almost 6
Almost
years.
You're
Yeah.
from here.
Wow.
So
Didn't that
yeah, I
time
went
go
to
quick?
14 schools in 12 years.
Wow.
Really?
I moved around a lot when I was
Yeah.
young, but that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So what was some of the struggles when you guys first got together and, you had been dating for 3 years, you've been married. So you guys have been together for about 6.5 years. Is that
Almost 6.
that's 6 years?
It'll be 6th in November.
What were some of the struggles that you guys had to go through when you got together? And people knew that you guys were a couple. What were some of the struggles? Obviously, you guys have made it. You guys have made it to be not such a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? You guys are really popular. I know y'all got these big Christmas parties at the house. Everybody got to get on a waiting list to go to the Christmas party, the Womacks Christmas parties. So, but I know that it took you some time to get there where everybody accepted you. Not everybody would accept where you guys are now. So
Right.
Yeah.
I know you guys had some struggle. Let's talk about the struggles and some situations where when you guys were coming together as a couple, how you were not welcomed. How some people shunned away from you. People talk about, you guys talked about that you go to church. And so the thing about it is people pick parts of the Bibles that they want to.
All the
Right.
time. All the time.
But there's a part in the Bible where it said a man should be with a woman.
Yes.
Right.
And so talk about, I know that, if you come from a church family, you've heard that before.
Absolutely.
What's your response to that?
Whoa. Y'all, oh my goodness.
And we're having libations too. You know, we got some grown folks things going on.
Right.
And Dougie
Right.
Dougie is ahead of everybody. I'll tell you that.
Look,
He's on his third,
listen.
and we're on our first.
I
Listen.
knew this question was coming, so I had to have me about 2 cocktails before this question.
That's all right.
No, how do I feel about that? Wow. I feel that nobody has a heaven or hell to put you in.
Right.
And that's first.
Right.
And my relationship with God has nothing to do with anybody else.
That's true.
So, your opinion about where I'm going to end up when I see God is your opinion. Okay?
Right.
Now, you can quote the Bible and spew 1 or 2 verses
Right.
and forget 3 before it and 7 after.
Right. The
Yes.
three that you.
Okay?
Now you
three
spoke a
that you-
word. Where's the sound
So,
effect? You spoke a word right
I
there.
mean, we can go there,
Right.
but I have to understand that
Right.
for myself.
Right.
I have to understand where my relationship with God lays.
Right.
You know, and remember how I told you when I was a kid and I'm a PK that,
Yeah.
you know, when you love God and you seek him
Right.
and you know, I was that kid. And I remember when I was really, really young, I was like, God, you know, if this is not like you, take it away. God,
Right.
you know, I'm a 11-year-old, 10-year-old. If
Right.
this is not like you, God, I don't want it. God, please, God, you know, I don't want
Yeah.
it. You know, if it's not like you. And I fasted. And I prayed and I fasted and I prayed and I cried and I didn't want it. And
Right.
God, you know, they say that it's bad and I'm going to burn and I don't, you know.
Yeah.
And finally that still voice going to tell me, he said, I made you exactly who you are.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
You know
it.
what?
That's
He
it.
made you.
That's
He
it.
I
made
don't care what pastor, what bishop, what
Yeah, that's it.
apostle, what
That's it.
prophet, what who. Honey, listen.
Yeah,
you
that's
take
it.
that and you go over there with it.
Right.
Because my God spoke to me.
Right.
And so when I go to him, I have to answer to him.
Absolutely.
I don't have
That's
to
it.
answer to any of these flesh and blood individuals here
That's
Right.
it.
that have their iniquity and have their sins and have their thoughts and do whatever things that they do behind closed doors. Listen, you could be whatever you are over there. For me, that's what it is.
Right.
But when it comes to you know, coming here and our battles as far as discrimination, I was extremely skeptical.
Really?
Shout out to our church, man. You know, Second Baptist, y'all are on point. I have never felt uncomfortable. I have never had anybody made me second guess.
Right.
And you know, when I came here, I have had a lot of church hurt.
Wow.
Really.
And I don't know if, and maybe, you know, and I'm not gonna be one of those people who thinks that people think about me or whatever.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
if anybody did, it took me 5 years to join our church because of my church hurt.
Oh.
Yeah.
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 Because I was like, you know, I don't know, and you know, what if, and you know, plus
I kept
I'm
thinking, what are you waiting on to happen?
I'm a
What are you
flight
thinking?
attendant, you know, and
Chase
so
us
I
out with a
didn't
brick
I
or
didn't get to
something?
go to church super often. So you know, I really enjoyed myself. I had a great time at church. Every time that I went, nobody ever mistreated me. Nobody ever made me feel any kind of way. Other churches, yes, but our church here,
No.
I have never felt anything. And as far as any other kind of struggle, I literally, you guys, it's so funny. That is why I love Little Rock. I have never felt uncomfortable. Nobody has ever made me feel, I've never heard anybody scream faggot. I've never heard anybody scream any other kind of derogatory term.
Yeah.
I have not, and I mean, y'all
That's very
know me.
surprising.
It is
Y'all,
absolutely.
I
I
am
was
a
surprised
purse-toting.
myself.
Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that Louis bag that day. You remember?
Okay, baby.
It's
and
there.
I'm carrying my
See?
mama's Christian Dior today.
Right.
But, I mean, it's just like I never felt uncomfortable, and it's like, how you're kind of surprised?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm surprised. And it's crazy that you're surprised.
Yeah.
Right.
That you have to be surprised. So I don't think that I've never gone through anything. Have you felt anything from anybody?
No, not at all. Like I said, I'm surprised as well. I really am. But no, I have not. And I'm really amazed at the way people embrace us. You know, like I say, everywhere we go, we get stopped on the streets, at the grocery store, everywhere. And if I'm somewhere without Dougie, they absolutely ask me, where's Dougie? And vice versa with him as well.
Yeah.
So I am shocked.
Well, I
really
think
am.
the world are a little bit more receptive to the LGBT community.
But I hear some people say they have nightmares over it, and that's just hasn't really been our thing.
They've made it so you guys could get married.
Right? Yeah.
So,
but everybody wasn't happy about that.
you guys have your own. You guys have your own community. You guys are your own people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, wait a minute. So, Leroy, you just said some people were not happy about you guys getting married.
Oh no, just about the whole
About marriage in general.
Yes,
Yeah.
I remember it was
Okay, so I
a big
did see that.
debate for
Absolutely.
years. If,
Yeah.
Because some people consider marriage is the union between a man and a woman.
Yes.
Is there anything that you guys can't do that that I can do that you guys for the LGBT community? You guys can get married.
Everything.
No, it's everything. It's,
So
As far as that.
Insurance coverage.
there's
everything.
nothing that you guys can't do that you would like to see happen.
Can I bring back a little point? People don't agree with same-sex marriage. And I'm okay with you not agreeing about it. We're not going to agree about
Different
potatoes.
different things.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter of you respecting somebody's differences is what makes us able to be cordial
Yeah.
Right.
and live together. I'm okay with that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot, even if people, even today, even in the church, are just like, that's not my thing. I don't support it. But
If that's you, that's
if
your
that's
thing.
your thing,
Yeah.
then hey, I'm there with you.
Yeah.
You know, because you may do some stuff that I'm just like, you know what, that's not my thing.
Yeah.
But I can respect you for it. So
Yeah.
go ahead. I just
Yeah.
wanted to put
Yeah.
that out there for
That's
everybody.
a good point to
you know.
make, though.
Do you see a difference in same-sex marriages as it relates to guys versus girls?
Absolutely.
So there is a double standard,
there is a double standard.
right? There's a double standard when two chicks get married and they're together.
It's a double standard. How do I want to say this? It's a double standard in your face, publicly, not privately. Because privately, they still don't want anybody to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yes.
But publicly, it's more accepted, especially because, we're a more masculine, male-driven, world. So when it comes to two women, it's more acceptable because that's a man's fantasy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
kind of, it's acceptable for a man to see two women together or two women and a man.
Right.
Right.
You know, they have websites all, honey, and those are the,
Yes.
are the ones that y'all truly go to. You know, so it's more
That's true.
accepted as far as to women having some kind of relations sexually, but it's oh gosh, it's fetish.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you can ask a couple, most couples, and you say, okay, we're going to have a three-way. And you can see a smile come on a man's face if he thinks it's going to be two women.
Yes.
Yeah.
But let it be two men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let it be another man involved.
We're gonna
You
talk
know
about
what I
that in the
mean?
later
Right.
show. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So
It is,
even then,
it is.
yeah, so there is a double standard.
Do you think that it's more acceptable depending upon the age group? Because I thought or think that it's not as acceptable with the younger generation because I think the elders believe that they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they want. They're confused. So do you think it's more acceptable in a certain age group?
The young generation, I had to go up to the school to get picked to do something. Anyway, I ended up going to the school, and I was floored when I went up there because from how masculine the girls were and how feminine the boys were. And I thought, oh my goodness, I remember if you would have did that when I was in school, they would have chased you down the street with a brick. And it was, I could not believe the difference that the kids are now, and everybody's unisex, and it's no big deal to them at this point.
Yeah.
And, you know, even you see the football players, and they got a boyfriend. I was like, really?
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, it's different. It's so different. Just from the time from when I was going to school to what it is now. And it's just like, and I was talking to my little cousin, and she was like, I was like, wow, did you know, is he gay? He gay? And she said, well, hell, who not? And I was like, really?
Right.
Just to hear somebody say that at that age, you know, but just think what was really taboo for us that, you know, people our age and just, you know, it was just unheard of.
It's here.
It's here.
Well, you know, when it comes to that older age group, everything was so hush hush.
Right.
You know,
That's true.
that older age group, there are 2 closets.
Really?
Oh my goodness, honey. I mean, there are 2 closets. There, when it comes to that older age group, and they're like, oh, they're confused, and they're this, and they're that. And then when I find out how many gay people actually were, you know, gay back in that time, but then they got married and they had kids, but then they were creeping in the
See, that's
Yeah.
what I
in the
didn't want.
parks and in
Yeah.
the you know what I'm saying? And that's what, you know, and I think that that's what Leroy was talking about. Like, you know, you don't want that. You know, you don't want, that's where a community starts. You know, because do you want to actually be dishonest?
No.
And that's kind of where I was going with this. So, do you guys frowned upon being in the closet? Like,
Do we frown upon it?
well, obviously you guys are out, but I'm saying to your friends that are gay that have not come out yet, and you guys know they gay. Do you guys encourage them like you really need to come out? You need to be honest about who you are.
No, I
do you
don't.
just kind of let them be who they are when
Do
they're
your
comfortable
thing,
coming
baby.
out?
That's
do your thing.
You do
Yeah.
it. Because I can't really tell you, know, like even in relationships, I can't tell you what can work for you.
That's
What
true.
might make work for us, might break y'all up. So,
That's
you
true.
know,
Yeah.
Right.
you have to do your
Yeah.
own thing, but that was one of the things I did not want. Even in retro and looking back, I'm just so thankful because you know people they want you to live that life. You know they want you to get married, and they want you to have kids and all. They want you to drag all those people into that life so they could be happy.
Yeah.
But look at the lives you're destroying behind it, including your own.
Yeah. That's true.
So that's what I didn't want. I didn't want.
And then they'll wear you out for it
right, exactly.
and talk about you.
Well, you're just gonna
and
live what
spread
you're gonna
rumors
live.
and
Yeah.
spread all
Yeah.
of that hatred and yeah, he know he gay and I don't know why he did that, but they was the main cheerleader and you getting
That was
married,
it.
and they was the main cheerleader and you getting. But I don't know why he did that anyway. And it, you know, when you start doing things for other people
Right.
and you don't live for yourself,
Right.
then you become their pawn,
Right.
and then you become crazy and start doing some real crazy
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And like Leroy said, you will start going to the gutter
Yeah, you'll
to
crawl
do
through the mud.
things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I have a question. You know, we're on Facebook Live. So someone just asked a question they have for the both of you. The question is to the one that I guess that they deemed the masculine one in the relationship.
Who's the man?
They're saying, are you attracted? Are you attracted to your mate because he's a man? Or are you attracted to your mate because he's a feminine man?
Yeah, he's a feminine man. I'm not really attracted to masculine men. I got friends they love the guys and
Yeah.
the what we call them trade.
So in the women,
Or there's gay men out there who's not trade.
so trade
that are
is
just
what is trade?
masculine.
So what the trade is
And
the
they're gay
masculine?
men.
Trade is a guy that will mess around with her. He probably won't be caught in public with you, but he will,
Down low.
kind of down low. But
That's called a trade.
It's called trade. That's another
See, I'm
word for down
learning.
low. Yes. So, but I was never attracted to that because I always wanted somebody I could be with, and who would come home and cook and help me pay the
Right.
bills, and we
Yeah.
do stuff together, go on trips, but you're not gonna get that from trade because for one, they don't want nobody to know that they with you,
That's
and
true.
then they
Right.
normally got a girlfriend or a wife or whatever going on.
Yeah.
So
And then you got to deal with all of that foolishness.
you got to deal with all of that,
And
so.
you got to be crazy to handle. Now, you don't have to be crazy, but you have to be you have to be able to handle all of
Right.
that.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
if
sir.
you
Yeah.
want to handle all of that, that's totally up
Yeah.
to you.
But yeah, so I like a feminine guy. I like a gay man, a guy that don't have no problem with knowing and without a shadow of a doubt that he's gay, and and
Yeah.
looking forward to coming home to Papa.
So in the gay, girl community, they call that guy a stud.
They call that guy
he's a stud.
right? And you have a femme, and you have a well, we call them lipstick girls in the gay community.
Okay, so the lipstick girls is a feminine man, right?
That's a
The
feminine girl.
just a
Okay.
feminine
But
woman.
a guy is a femme guy would be a femme guy, and you have a masculine guy. So
Film guy, masculine guy.
Or the girl will call us a queen, honey. That's
Right.
hey. I know you girls was thinking it, or you just said it, a queen, and that's okay.
yeah.
That's
Do
all
you have
right.
any more questions?
Just let me ask you guys. Let me ask this. I know you're married, and what do you think about starting a family, kids, and what's
Wow,
what's
good
the
question.
future on that?
Great question.
I want us to go around the world and lay on the beach.
Okay.
So but if he wanted a child, we could do that. But for me, I want to go lay on the beach.
Okay. Okay. Daggy.
I want a baby. I want a baby, but you know what? I could have baby fever all day. And I am an Aquarius. I'm a February Aquarius. And
Shout
I'm
out to the
a-
Aquarius. Shout out to the
Okay.
Aquarius. Me and Doug.
We're
Are you,
Aquarius.
Roy? Are you
We're
Aquarius
both
too?
Aquarius, right.
Oh, cool.
I am a realist, and I am a hard ass. So when it comes to me bringing a child into the world, I want to make sure that I can give them the world.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to tell them, oh, you can't have because you can't have, not
Yeah.
because we don't
Yeah.
have. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give them the world, and so financially you have to be at the place where you can do it. And I just they cost a lot of money.
They do.
They poop.
They what? You
They
said
talk back. And then y'all want to talk about we can't whoop them. And I don't know. I'm not a parent, and I think I'm older now, and I'm almost 40. So bringing a kid into the world, I think that I think we have passed our
I think I'm too old.
threshold.
I think y'all are right there.
Really?
You think so?
Yes. Because you have to have time to kind of really enjoy each other.
Yeah.
So when you get done, when you enjoy each other, like you want to do your traveling on the beach and all that, when you get to you enjoy each other for a few years, I guess, then it's time to really just kind of bring this baby into the situation.
Yeah.
Because I
we
think it
just
takes
keep going.
Because I think there's some time. I think there's enough time to where especially if if you want kids, I think there's some times
Yeah.
where you really do like, listen, I just want to enjoy each other for a
Right.
while.
And we've traveled a lot. You know, I
Mhm,
mean, we've gone overseas. We've gone some really, really far places. You know,
Yeah.
we're not done, but my biggest thing is, who are we gonna leave all this to? You know,
Yeah.
we have a
Yeah.
lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, who's
Yeah.
it gonna go to?
I think about that time sometimes.
Yeah.
They
So-
can divide it up. I
so
don't
there's a
care what
possibility,
happened
right?
to it.
There's a possibility.
You got a
Ish.
couple questions back.
Yeah, so this is a follow-up question. The same person asked this question. This is a follow-up question to the question she just asked, which
Okay.
is, so are you attracted to transsexual men?
Like trannies?
Yes.
Transgender.
Transgender? Transgender?
Transgender.
No, I'm not
Trans-
attracted, but I respect them. But I'm not
Yes.
attracted because I mean, if I was going to go through that, I would probably go with a female or the real deal. 'Cause I think
Yeah,
women
that
are
makes sense.
Beautiful
Yeah.
and smart and everything. I don't know why in the world I ended up gay, but 'cause I always had that
Yes.
respect for those beautiful women, you know. And when I was young, I would picture myself being married to a woman. But that wasn't what my lot was supposed. That's what was supposed to happen for me. So
Do you guys think y'all were born that way?
Absolutely.
Yes.
well, I don't know. I think it kind of evolved. Yeah, I'm going to say yes because I was so young when it really came out. So at the point where I started really thinking about stuff like that, I was there.
You know, I think that it changes for different people. You know how like everybody, you can't cookie cutter everybody.
That's
Right,
true.
right.
You know.
Right.
That's true.
So I think that it kind of changes for people, because for some people, in first grade, like I did, and then for some people, as it gradually goes along, once you start getting older, you start having feelings for things that are, something different that you didn't think that you would have,
Right.
Previous. And, I can't speak to that, but, I can respect it,
Right.
So I just think at the end of the day, we just have to, respect people for what they like, and I don't want to be lumped, like, with like the LGBTQIA community. We don't want to be, put in a box.
Yes. You should.
And
You shouldn't
it's
be.
like, oh, well, this is what it is. And that's what it is. And I think people fear what they can't understand.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's true.
And when you can't understand something, they're just like, then they begin to assume.
Mm-hmm.
And then they begin to bring their own notions and make their own conclusions
That's true.
of things. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of keeps them up at night.
Yes.
And it kind of, you know what I'm saying? So if they can't find an answer for it, then they're just like, well, you're this and you're that. And that's where the negativity comes
Absolutely.
in.
Right.
And that's where the fear comes in. And you're going to do this and you're going to do that.
Right.
And he's going to do this to you and
Right.
he's going to do, you know what I'm saying?
does.
And
It
I
does.
mean, and then that spreads like wildfire. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
And you just really can't explain to someone why you like a certain thing,
Yes.
I can't, tell you why sweet potato pie is so good to me.
Ooh,
But is it-
this is good.
Yeah, but is
But
it even
it's good,
necessary?
right.
His mama's sweet potato pie is
People, they
good.
want an explanation because, if you can't stand sweet potato pie, you don't understand why in the world I like sweet potato pie.
Yeah.
If that's not
Yeah.
your thing. So, there's no way to really explain to a person, why you're the way,
You
or,
are.
why you go the way that you go. You just, I can't put it to words, except for, it's who I am.
Yeah.
And I want to be true to that.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Good.
So your sister is Kiki White, right?
Yes, she is.
Is she pregnant again?
She is not.
She
So
is not.
didn't we see that she was we read somewhere
You
in
know
the tabloids that
tabloids. Listen, First of all, let's be clear. I've said, the Bible says, and we're going to speak of the Bible says be fruitful and multiply. So even if she is on her 11th child and wanted to have 3 more, I just don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, that's just her. That's her. She's not asking for anyone to come in her home and take care of her children.
Right.
So that's kind of one of those things of being a celebrity, whether it's a local celebrity or a national celebrity, is that people feel like they can invade in your privacy, you know, and then they have an opinion of it. So, I don't think there's. I mean, if she is, that's her business.
Let me tell you, we absolutely. You know, we are probably the only one. We've brought her to Little Rock twice.
I know.
It's time
and
for her to
you
come
know what?
back
I
again.
appreciate that so much. You know,
She sets the stage on fire.
I love the way that you brought her here. It gives me a reason to actually have her here,
Right.
and to actually see her.
Right.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much.
She's amazing.
And everybody loved, you know, they love her voice and they love her coming here. But just, you know, thank you for supporting my
She's
family.
amazing.
And
She's amazing.
that's what's up.
Now, I remember seeing her in an interview, and she said that she has. So you're not the only gay brother that she has, right?
No.
So there's other gay siblings in your family, right?
Yes.
You guys have one more brother, right?
No, there's 5 of us.
Oh, okay.
And there's 1 girl and 4 boys, and I'm the baby, and
Okay.
there are 3 boys that are gay.
Okay.
So one that's straight.
1 that's straight, yes,
Wow.
and he's a preacher.
Really?
He's a preacher.
Yes.
What in the hell was y'all eating in y'all house?
Listen.
The Lord.
Can you sing? Can you sing like Kiki Dougie?
I cannot. Nobody can sing like Kiki.
No,
Let me
yeah,
tell you
yeah,
something.
yeah.
She
No,
is
no, yes,
unmatched.
yes.
I don't care what. Listen,
Nobody
I will
can
say it
sing
in front
like,
of those that attempt. She is unmatched. Like I can
Yes.
watch her and listen to her sing her ABCs.
Oh, honey.
Like she is just unmatched. It's just I was watching her on Instagram yesterday, as a matter of fact, and she was kind of playing around. And even
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
around.
Yeah.
She's incredible.
You know, I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Okay, so somebody wants to know, what does the IA stand for, Dougie? That you mentioned at the what does IA stand for?
Ooh, y'all.
The IA.
I'm just supposed to know the letters. Oh my gosh, you guys are trying to make me be educated.
We don't want to do that.
Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, is it intersexual?
I don't know.
You said,
I know it's asexual. I think it's
I don't know.
intersexual and asexual. I know it's asexual.
okay.
I know the A is asexual.
Yeah, they keep adding
But I do not.
keep
I
adding on to it.
apologize. I do not know what the
don't
I
know.
is.
Okay. We'll get that for
I
you.
believe that
We'll get
it's
that for
intersexual, but the A is asexual. I do know
We'll get
that.
that for her.
I'm sorry.
So we really thank you guys for coming on. We've got you know, a couple of things that we need to do before you get out of here. One of
Okay.
the questions that I think, you know, I want to know, and you know, y'all talked about all of the LBG. Which bathroom do y'all go to when y'all in a public place? You go to the ladies' bathroom or the
Bro, I am a dude.
so you
I'm a
you go
dude.
to
I
you go
am
to the
a
you go to the
6'1" dude.
right. So you go to the
Okay.
male bathroom. Do you stand up or do you sit down?
Well, you know what?
depends, right?
It depends.
I stand
Well,
up.
I know I stand. No,
if you're doing
I,
number one.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my thing, and I guess I'm just maybe a little weird.
All right.
I have been going to the bathroom by myself for a long time, and I have yet to take a buddy. So I like to use a stall,
Okay.
but I
Alright.
do not sit down.
I
Yeah,
got you.
Okay.
You know
Cool.
what I'm
That's
saying?
private. That's private.
Cool. Now you guys got some things going on. I read somewhere, Dougie, that you have a skincare line coming out, right?
I do.
Tell us about
I
that.
Let's
do.
talk about that. I
Um,
like to shop now.
I started thinking about this idea about a year and a half ago, just because I really enjoy skincare, and I started to make my own lotion. And this lotion that I made, just I couldn't find the consistency of type of lotion that I really, really wanted. And it just, the scent wouldn't last, and just like it was either too greasy or it was too watery or it just had too much oil or just, so I just decided to make my own, or it didn't have enough moisture in it. And I just needed different properties and, or it had different chemicals. And so I just decided to make my own. And then I just thought about, just skincare. So I just decided, well, why don't I start my own skincare line? So that's how the idea started. Okay. So in October, I will be launching my skincare line called Juvenility by Dougie. It just became a company officially about a week ago.
Wow.
Okay. Congratulations.
Woo, that's big. That's big. Congratulations.
So I'm so excited. We're doing big things. We're launching in October. Officially, all of the products will be online. But we're going to have a soft launch here in Little Rock in September. So we're going to have some little prizes, and we're going to have a little soft launch party.
Be there.
And I hope Mrs. Stewart will come.
I will be there with a debit credit card.
Absolutely. We're going to have some pre-orders going and some samples, and we're going to live stream it. So keep it locked.
What's
please.
the website? What's the website real quick?
Well, our website is not
you're getting
just
it
ready yet, but you can get us on Juvenility by Dougie. That's Juvenility by Dougie at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Okay, Dougie, spell out Juvenility.
Juvenility, Juvenility by Dougie.
Okay.
On all social media platforms. And our website is on its way, but we're, getting content, and maybe Mrs. Stewart will be one of my models.
I got you. Just tell me what you need. Just tell me what you need. I got you.
And so you guys are doing big things. Leroy, you have your own company. It's called Designs on the Move, right?
That's correct.
So tell us about your company that you got.
Designs on the Move is an all-inclusive interior design firm.
That is gorgeous work.
Thank you. We do, of course, we do interior design for any space in your home, your office, and we also do event planning, weddings, parties, so forth and so on. So let us know if we can make any room of your life beautiful. So
How do they get in contact with you?
you can reach me on my website, and that's www.designsonthemove.net.
It's gorgeous. They have really gorgeous work. Really pretty.
Yeah.
All right.
And Designs on the Move on Facebook.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Amy.
Absolutely.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So
Well, thank you.
Okay, so now is the part of the show. So we asked a few questions on live. So now is the part of the show where we kind of go over the questions that has been emailed to us. So last episode, our titled episode at the time was It All Blends Perfectly. Yeah. And we were discussing the blending of families and then finances and all the above. So one of our listeners sent a question. Her question was, how do you deal with the baby mama that don't like her husband's wife? And she is not okay with him picking up the child, but she wants him to come to her house to see that child. How do you deal with that?
You want to take that one,
Let's let our
Dougie?
guest start first.
Dougie,
Yes.
you want to take that?
Hold on. So the baby mama
Gotta give me an answer
love
within
the
2 minutes,
daddy's
Dougie.
wife.
2 minutes.
Okay, yes.
The baby mama doesn't like the daddy's wife.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Get over it.
Short, sweet, and to the point.
No, get over it. What is the reason, first off?
That's true.
Is the reason personal? Has the wife done something to your child?
Yeah.
So there are a lot of what ifs in that. Is the child uncomfortable? And if the child is uncomfortable because the baby mama has put that in their head
The child
to
is an
be
infant.
uncomfortable?
It's an infant.
Oh, it's an infant. Oh, then no, baby, get over it.
Right.
Look, the show does not belong to you anymore.
Right.
Right.
You
Yes.
want to add anything to that, Leroy?
No, that's exactly right.
That's exactly,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
exactly right.
okay.
Okay, Netta?
Yeah, that's my. I mean, I feel the same way. You just have to. You have to kind of get over that, and so understand that she's in the role of the wife, not the girlfriend anymore. And so, but what I think has happened is that this, as I said, this is an infant child. There may still be some feelings and emotions there. So because of that reason, she wants to use a child as a pawn. We do this not me because I don't care, but women do this so often. Use a child as a pawn to keep this man, kind of in their lives.
That
but
hurts your child.
It absolutely
Right.
does. So, but they don't see that. They don't consider that. They just like, oh, I'm just gonna do what I can to hurt you or whatever. So yeah, just get over it. A whoop a tail, something.
Don't do that. Well, you just have to. I think as far as the man
Lord
goes, you have to be a
Jesus.
man about it.
help me, Dougie. Help me, Dougie.
Just whoop it one time. Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
Do it
know,
for
the
the
thing-
vine.
The thing about it is,
Let the man do what he. Let the man be a man.
when
Yes,
and when I got married, I'm like, I you can deal with my baby mamas. I mean, it's because they got on my nerves, and so. But I will say this. I'll say this. A lot of times they're still doing some entanglements. And so
Absolutely.
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? If the baby dad is still sliding through and hitting that, then it's gonna make
exactly.
it's gonna make it
That's
confusing.
why I said
That's where the
you
problem
understand what I'm saying?
Issues.
Yes, that's
you
the
know what I'm
problem.
saying? If he ain't hitting that, you shouldn't have a problem. I'm gonna tell my business. My baby mama didn't want. She was saying, well, you got around too many girls. I said, but I'm around too many girls. So hell, my baby gonna be around how many? If you want me to beat your kids, they're gonna be around. But at the end of the day, you can't
the people.
slide through and keep hitting that, or it's gonna
Yeah.
make it
makes
make
it
it
worse.
all
Yes, it
worse.
makes
You
it
know what I'm
worse.
saying?
Exactly.
So you can't hit that. And if you ain't hitting that and she tripping about it, then that's some personal issues, like you said.
Yeah.
You can't
Yes.
stop that.
Just
Yeah.
slap
You
it
got
one
any
time
other
for the
questions?
vine. Just like
One
Do it
time.
for the vine.
just slap it one time for the vine.
Is that the only question?
Yeah,
babe?
because we kind of had questions for Dougie and Leroy, but that's it on there. You can go ahead and do
So our
Your thoughts,
sponsorships. So give them the email. Now, I didn't say this at the beginning. We are live streaming on everybody's Facebook page here. Dougie, Wyatt, Womack, Leroy, Womack, Shanetta Stewart, and Brian Stewart. Our video will live on the video part of this will live on my YouTube channel, which is Brian Stewart Sr.
Yes.
The audio for the podcast can be on any stream podcast, and you will just look up Love Wins by the Stewarts. That's Love Wins by the Stewarts. So on any podcast, that's Apple Podcasts, Anchor, any other. We have Spotify. Every place that you can get podcasts, you can find our audio for this deal.
Yes.
Now, so sponsor. I have a sponsor of. If you want to sponsor the show, give them the email that they can email for sponsors and guests. We do have an email that you can email if you want to be a
So
sponsor.
the email address is stewart.lovewins@gmail.com.
One more time.
Stewart.lovewins@gmail.com. I think you just like the way you
I
just
love
like me
the way you
talk.
say that, baby.
You just like to hear me talk?
I love the way you
I
say
think
that.
that's what I
sweetie.
knew it. I knew
So
it.
if you want to spend money with us, we're really, really, really cheap while we're first starting. We're as cheap as J1 just texted me too. We're really, really inexpensive. So if you want to advertise, please hit us on any of our social media or that email address. And speaking of J1, he's sponsoring this week Them Damn Wings. Damn Wings. He have wings, fish, and shrimp.
Yes, not with an
Yeah,
S.
yeah. I
Yes.
said fish and
We
shrimp.
love
last
those.
night. Yeah,
Yes,
fish,
he
fish and
did.
shrimp.
With an S.
Yeah,
He did.
sandwiches, pork chops. Listen, if
It's
you
good,
want to
too.
call in your order, you can call your order in 501-352-9547. I'm going to give you that number again in case I was talking fast. 501-352-9547. Now, them damn wings got everything. This
Have everything.
off the chain. Now, he's a mobile truck. So every day you can
It's good.
order your
It's
food.
really good.
You can order your food. The address is, if I can find it, is somewhere on this
Camp
flyer.
Robinson, I think.
I don't know if it's Camp Robinson. I had the.
That's it.
I had the.
It's Camp Robinson.
Is that the address? Oh, okay. Well, I can't find it right now.
Yeah,
so-
okay, yeah.
No, I got it. Okay, I got it. So the address. Let me read the address real quick. It is at 3704 Camp Robinson Road. You did well, baby. 3704 Camp Robinson Road. Call your orders in. The man came out. He's a mobile, so he can come to your event. His food is off the chain. Off the chain. Go by and holler at J1. Let him know that B-Level and Shanetta sent you.
Yeah.
Do you have an advertise?
So yes, so today you guys can't see because the video is not closed, but today I have on strip lasses from Camille Cosmetics. So it's shopcamillecosmetics.com. The owner is Millie Cooksey. I've bought like maybe 8 pairs at one time. Nevertheless, they are bomb. So I don't really wear the big 25 milliliters. Nevertheless, these are just awesome. They're very lightweight. I sometimes get lash extensions, but I wash my face a lot and I use a lot of products in my face, so I can't, I can't do the lash extensions. Nevertheless, these are great quality. They're mink lashes. Again, the owner is Millie Cooksey and it's Shop Camille Cosmetics, and you can find her on Instagram and Facebook. And once again, we're going to give you guys the contact information for our amazing guests because I've seen their work. Listen, I stalked them on, they don't know this yet. I'm going to tell you, Leroy. So, on your Facebook page, I stalk your Christmas decorations and stuff so I can see if I can copy it, but I can't. So, yes. Make sure that you guys look for them on Facebook, Designs on the Move.
Yes.
It's on Facebook. And where else? Is it on?
No, Facebook and our website.
Okay.
www.designsonthemove.net.
Okay. And then, Dougie, yours is?
Juvenility by Dougie on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter.
Same.
And we will have a website coming soon. So
Y'all got any shout outs you want to do before we leave?
I want to shout out Angelic Wellness Clinic, my good friend Keisha Miller.
yes.
You, Dougie?
I want to shout out to Keever West. He is an amazing R&B artist. Y'all go and get his music. You can find his music. He has a ton of music on all of the social media platforms. That's my brother. That is Kiki Wyatt's brother. It's my brother. And he can sing. So, please go look for him. And please, you know what? Rap Kiki Wyatt right now.
Please do.
She does her thing.
She
is
does,
a wonderful mother.
She
is a
is.
wonderful wife.
She's amazing.
She is just a wonderful woman and a wonderful sister.
We're going to get her back here. We got to get
Shout
her back.
out.
Yes, we got to get her back.
Mwah.
Make sure you go by and subscribe to our podcast channel. Hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Brian Stewart Sr. is how you find the video. The audio lives on any podcast streaming place, and all you have to do is search Love Wins by the Stewart.
Okay, so I did not this is a surprise for Brian,
Oh, wow.
Dougie, and Leroy. So we had said halfway through this season we were going to do a live panel Q&A.
Yeah.
So we're going to get this set up and get it done. And so today I've decided that you two will be on the panel.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
if you guys, when you see and hear this, if you have any additional questions that you want to ask or whatever, come to the show. It's going to be live Q&A. We're going to have it set up really nicely. Sell tickets for that. So,
So
be
this
on the
is going
lookout
to
for it.
be live audience, right?
It's going to be a live audience.
So
We're
they'll
gonna
get
do
to
live
ask
Q&A.
you questions live.
Absolutely.
We're going
Okay.
to stream this.
Well,
Absolutely.
count us
You'll be
in.
on the panel with other couples,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
I don't know about you folks asking you stuff on the spot. We got to
Listen,
we got to
I told y'all
screen.
from
We
the
ain't screening the
beginning,
questions.
We are transparent,
Right.
clean, clear.
And Dougie and Leroy, they don't care. They
Listen.
don't care. They on the spot anyway. They
Hey.
on the
That's
spot
why they here.
anyway.
That's why we're here.
It is
All right.
what it is.
Good.
And last but not least, if me and Mrs. Stewart do not get an invite to y'all Christmas party, it's gonna be some smoke in the city.
Let me tell you something.
No, yes.
We have to catch the pictures like the following week. I'm like, oh, that was nice.
We want to come to the Christmas party.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, we thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us
Absolutely.
this afternoon. As we say, this will be broadcast on Brian Stewart Sr. and the podcast, that's for YouTube, and the podcast will be, please subscribe to our podcast channel, and it will live on Love Wins by the Stewarts.
Yes.
All right.
All right, that's a wrap.
That's it. Thank you
All
guys
right.
so much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.